Food is really an extension or an expression of the culture, the history of a place. Macau has now been designated as a UNESCO Creative City of Gastronomy since 2017. The City of Gastronomy designation has helped to put Macau on the map in terms of gastronomy.
Sustainability is not only about cooking. There's also an element of heritage, preserve the old ways, the heritage, so everything is not just changed into something new. To preserve our heritage in recipes, we also need to keep the recipes that is passed down from families to families or from chefs to chefs, yeah.
Sustainable gastronomy, by definition, you have to make the ingredients, you have to make the cooking, you have to make the culture survive and go on into the future and also make it continue to be relevant. Innovation is also important.
Should young chef innovated Macanese cuisine? To innovate it, first we have to understand the culture. You are still using the same concept, but also maintain the heritage or the core in the Macanese cuisine.
Macanese cuisine is part of my culture. It's a traditional cooking that I really want to preserve. It's very common to say Macanese cuisine is a fusion food, but we have to say fusion is not confusion. If we want to do the traditional one, we have to do the traditional one. The most challenged part is how can you preserve the consistency of the flavor, preserve the Macanese taste.
So all this is very interesting, and there's no right way. We also need to contribute to the education of students, yeah? So they need to know that sustainability is not only about cooking, it's also about implementing some systems so it can continue to work.
Macanese food can be innovated, but I think people might not want to rebuild it in a modern, delicate, fine dining way.
For me, I think Macanese cuisine should keep it like this because you can't find it elsewhere in the world, only Macau, because of the culture. So it is very unique, very special.
In order to continue to be sustainable, I think we should talk to the older generation first, and then you understanding how the dish comes from, and then make it your way.
To apply that idea of sustainability to Macanese food, it means to say that it has to continue to be relevant to your culture. It has to be part of your day-to-day life. And I hope our young people will look on it as something that they can enjoy day to day, that it is something that makes them feel at home.
One of the good things about Macau is not always the changes. It's also that changes happen, but you also still have the contrast of the old ways, which is beautiful in that sense.